Well, what's up, guys? I put that head unit in yesterday. That's the old one. That's the old one that I had. Right there's the new one that I had. It was a touchscreen flip out, but it didn't have enough settings to run my sub the way I wanted. So I put the old one back in it. That's the one that was in it when I bought the truck. Um, I put that shit in there, and yeah, it's got more settings. It works good and everything. I was happy with it. I'm still happy with it. I went to the dump a while ago. When I left here, I started my truck. All my gauges was working. I went up to the dump. I leave the truck running. I get on the back of the truck and start throwing my trash over into the dumpster. I wasn't there 5 minutes. I get back in my truck and I pull out on the 4 lane. And I was going on up a hill and I glanced down to see what I was doing on my speed. And none of my gauges are working except for the volt. The voltmeter is all it's working. I don't have half a tank of gas. The gas light was on when I left here. I went to the store and put just a little bit in it, and it wasn't enough to put on half a tank, but it stuck on half a tank when I noticed the rest of the stuff quit working. So is my heat hand and my oil pressure. So I'm assuming that it's never done that before. It's never done that before. So it has to be the head unit. I've done something wrong, and I normally don't make mistakes on stereo stuff. But like when I turn the switch, the oil pressure goes to zero like it should. When I start it, nothing. The oil pressure may be working. I think it might be working right. The temperature's not. I hope, if I can focus. The volt meter's constantly screwy, so it constantly fluctuates because it's just Chevy, and that's something they do. But I was up there at the gas station, and while I was letting it fill up, I checked my fuse over here on the side of the door, and it's not blowed. I pulled it out and checked it. It's not blowed at all, so it has to be something with this right here. So I'm gonna open the door and let it cut itself off, and then I'm going to pull this out. Luckily, I didn't mount it in there permanently yet, just in case I had some trouble like this. I'm trying to get better at like holding the camera where you can see what I'm doing the whole time I'm doing it. I have a habit of like looking at what I'm doing and holding the camera out of my way so that I can see what I'm doing, and then it makes for a shitty video. But I'm going to try to fix this, and if you ever have this trouble, maybe what I do can fix yours too. Okay. Okay, it's a simple fix. I already see the problem. So that makes me feel way better about not putting that in there permanently yet. Here's the problem. The yellow is your memory, and your red is your power. What's happened, even though I shrink wrapped it and crimped it on there with a connector, my yellow this is my constant power off of my plug for my truck right here. It came out of here. It came out of here. It's supposed to be in there with this one like it is on this side right here. So that's a simple fix, easy fix, and that was very simple. So now what I'm going to do is hook that back in, and we should have our dash lights. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Let me sit y'all up here. When I say y'all, I mean there's 3 people that watch my stuff, and one of them's my little brother. He may not even watch it. He's busy. He's busy doing his shit. But always make sure when you are hooking up your radio. I've never had it be so demanding in any other vehicle that yellow wire is hooked to the head unit in order for your gauges to work. I've never heard of that. I don't know if that's something that this body style 2004, maybe 5, I think, is the same body style. It might be 2003. I ain't sure. But any Silverados, GMCs, the Tahoes, there's probably, that might be all. But all of them all of them are basically the same way on this. And my buddy that I worked with, he had an 03, and he said that his dash was real messed up and that his gauges and stuff didn't work. But I know that's a Chevy thing. I mean, none of them really work right. But he had an aftermarket head unit put in, and I'm not going to say that that's what's wrong, but that might be what's wrong with his as well. So let me get my wire strippers. Strip this wire. Looks like the wire just broke. The fuse and everything was really good. It wasn't nothing wrong with it. I didn't run this head unit. When I bought the truck, this head unit was in the truck, but nothing would work. The fuse was blown. So I kind of took that as a sign. And the guy that told me that I bought the truck from, he told me that he had a problem with the speakers and stuff not working right and was going out. And if you would turn it up past a certain level, all the speakers would go off. And this is not the right way to do it, but this is the way I had to do it to make it work. I put a head unit in the truck, and if you turned it up past 19, all the speakers would just kind of start frying and go out. And I knew all 4 speakers wasn't blowed. I've heard people say, all my speakers blow at the same time. None of your speakers is going to blow all at the same time. It's just not going to happen. There's no reason for that to ever happen. It's almost impossible. So I had to. There's something wrong with the electrical in this truck, and I know that's a red flag immediately, especially with putting in systems. So the trucks had at least 2 professional systems put in it, and like they put tweeters and stuff in the A-pillars. That's not here. I'll show you. They put some tweeter in this truck. Didn't come with tweeters in the A-pillar, and I didn't do it. And I pulled some crossovers. I mean, they broke everything. They broke that, but I pulled 2 sets of crossovers out from underneath the carpet right here behind the kick panel on both sides. And as the tweeters aren't even hooked up now, they just cut the wires and like they're just hanging down and stuff. I cleaned it up a lot, but it's still not perfect. But I am going to fix the tweeters to make them work. But what I was having a problem with before, and what the last owner had a problem with, was if you turned it up past a certain level, all the speakers would get really fry sounding and stop. And then you'd have to turn the truck off, turn it back on, and make them work again, and leave it at a certain, like a low level to make them play. So this isn't the right way of doing things, but this is the way I had to do it. Like I said before, I had to run new leads. I run new leads from all 4 doors to the head unit, and it still didn't bypass whatever the problem was in the plug for the electrical for the factory setting of the truck. So I ran my leads from the front doors to the back doors, and then from the back doors to the head unit, all new speaker wire, all new leads. So now I am running on 2 channel. I'm just running I'm running 2 speakers per channel, and I know that's not the way to do it, and that's not the way I want to do it. I know that I'm robbing myself a lot of quality by doing it that way, but that's the only way that I could make it play and not cut off. But anyways, enough of me rambling. I'm going to cut this wire out of the loom, if I can find my cutters I just had. And put them back. I'm going to cut that wire out. And cut the red one. I wish I could. I'm gonna try to let you see what I'm doing. In case you don't know, I gotta cut this. Actually, I'm gonna have to cut them all. I'm just gonna cut them all 4. I'm just gonna cut this right here completely off. So I want to try to focus and do this. I need a GoPro or something better. I need a camera of some sort. Here, let me use these. Let me use these. Alright, cut this right here. And then I'm going to cut this yellow one. And I'm going to cut this red one. That's what the problem was. Man, this thing don't focus. Well, you can see the color. It's not gonna focus. There you go. I had those two working. Like those two are the right way, and my yellow one for the factory, for the plug here, it came out. So that's why my dash lights or my dash gauges didn't work. So I'm going to strip these. Hold on a minute. I'm going to strip these and see if it works. I know it will, but bear with me. This is my new plug too, so I don't want to make too many more problems doing this, because my plug wires are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, because when you have mistakes, I had to cut out a good inch of it right there. So let me strip the yellow one and the red one. I'm going to use my pocket knife for that one, because it's not even big enough for the wire strippers to fit. It won't fit in the wire strippers. Ow. Okay. I'm going to do it a little different this time. I will use a piece of heat shrink just because, oh shit, I bet my heat shrink is in the garage. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. I went to the garage and got some heat shrink. I want to put this one on the small wire that was off of the plug for the back of the head unit to build up the volume, to make it the same size as the other wire, so that this right here will shrink accordingly to the other. I'll go ahead and put that on there. Okay, I'll show you what I've got so far. Okay, there's my wires off the back of my plug for my head unit. Here's my wires run together for the plug on the truck's wiring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this smaller piece of heat shrink on these two, because this wire right here, the red one, is so small. I'll try to prop you up. Oh, I need to get some way to record. I don't do this. I know people like the fix videos of showing people how to fix shit when it does mess up. So now I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna put the bigger piece on. I'm not gonna use a connector this time, because that was the reason I had the trouble last time. I'm gonna wire all this together. I'm just gonna do it this way. This is not the right way. Don't do it because I did it. And because I do it don't mean it's right. That's why I'm doing it. Okay, now I'm gonna get a lighter. You should use a heat gun to do this too, but I've done it so many times I'm pretty sure I'm not going to burn through it. I kind of know what I'm doing. Shrink it down. I just got the hair off my finger. Twice. Okay. Let that kind of cool down for a second. That's what it's going to look like. Very clean. Very nice and neat. Okay. There they are. There's my mileage. There's my message center working again. RPM. My heat gauge working right. Volts is steady. It's not jumping around crazy. I still don't think I have half a tank of gas, but oil pressure's working. There it is, boys. Have a good one.